Exodus chapter 29. And this is the thing that you shall do to them to hallow them, to minister to me in the priest's office. Take 1 young bullock and 2 rams without blemish, and unleavened bread, and cakes unleavened, tempered with oil, and wafers unleavened, anointed with oil. Of wheaten flour shall you make them. And you shall put them into 1 basket, and bring them in the basket, with the bullock and the 2 rams. And Aaron and his sons you shall begin to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall wash them with water. And you shall take the garments, and put upon Aaron the coat, and the robe of the ephod, and the ephod, and the breastplate, and gird him with the curious girdle of the ephod. And you shall put the mitre upon his head, and put the holy crown upon the mitre. Then shall you take the anointing oil, and pour it upon his head, and anoint him. And you shall bring his sons, and put coats upon them, and you shall gird them with girdles, Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnets on them. And the priest's office shall be theirs for a perpetual statute. And you shall consecrate Aaron and his sons. And you shall cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock. And you shall kill the bullock before the Lord by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And you shall take of the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns of the altar with your finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. And you shall take all the fat that covers the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon him, and burn them upon the altar. But the flesh of the bullock, and his skin, and his dung, shall you burn with a fire without the camp. It is a sin offering. You shall also take 1 ram. Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram, and you shall slay the ram. And you shall take his blood, and sprinkle it round about the altar. And you shall cut the ram in pieces, and wash the inwards of him, and his legs, and put them to his pieces, and to his head. And you shall burn the whole ram upon the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire to the Lord. And you shall take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram. And then you shall kill the ram, and take of his blood, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the great toe of their right foot. And sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. And you shall take of the blood that is upon the altar, and the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aaron, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon the garments of his sons with him. And he shall be hallowed, and his sons' garments, and his sons' garments with him. Also ye shall take of the ram the fat and the rump, and the fat that covers the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and the right shoulder, for it is a ram of consecration. And 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake of oiled bread, and 1 wafer out of the basket of the unleavened bread that is before the Lord. And you shall all put in the hands of Aaron, and in the hands of his sons, and shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. And you shall receive them of their hands, and burn them upon the altar for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor before the Lord. It is an offering made by fire to the Lord. And you shall take the breast of the ram of Aaron's consecration, and wave it for a wave offering before the Lord, and it shall be your part. And you shall sanctify the breast of the wave offering, and the shoulder of the heave offering, which is waved, which is heaved up of the ram of the consecration, even of that which is for Aaron, and of that which is for his sons. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons by a statute forever for the children of Israel, for it is a heave offering. And it shall be a heave offering for the children of Israel of the sacrifice of their peace offerings, even their heave offering to the Lord. And the holy garments of Aaron shall be his sons after him, to be anointed therein, and to be consecrated in them. And that the son that is priest in his stead shall put them on 7 days, when he comes into the tabernacle of the congregation to minister in the holy place. And you shall take the ram of the consecration, and seethe his flesh in the holy place. And Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram, and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And they shall eat those things wherein the atonement was made, to consecrate and to sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy. And if aught of the flesh of the consecrations or of the bread remain to the morning, you shall burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. And thus shall you do to Aaron and his sons according to all the things which I have commanded you. 7 days shall you consecrate them. And you shall offer every day a bullock for a sin offering for atonement, and you shall cleanse the altar when you have made an atonement for it, and you shall anoint it to sanctify it. 7 days shall you make an atonement for the altar, and sanctify it, and it shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever touches the altar shall be holy. Now this is that which you shall offer upon the altar: 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at even. And with 1 lamb, a 10th deal of flour mingled with a 4th part of a hin of beaten oil, and the 4th part of a hin of wine for a drink offering. And the other lamb you shall offer at even, and shall do thereto according to the meat offering of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savor, an offering made by fire to the Lord. And this shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord, where I will meet you to speak there to you. And I will meet with the children of Israel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar. I will sanctify also both Aaron and his sons to minister to me in the priest's office. And I will dwell among the children of Israel, and will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, that brought them forth from the land of Egypt, that I may dwell among them. I am the Lord their God.